Hello, my friends, and welcome to another Devotional Connection. I've been taking some time and going through some of the prayers in the Bible. I looked up certain things and reviewed certain things, but I was going through some of the good ones that I thought really talked to me. One of them was obviously Jabez's prayer for strength and protection. Another one was Hezekiah's prayer for courage and deliverance. I was looking at the prayer of Hannah. I was looking at even Jesus' prayer for surrender and obedience in Matthew 26. But one thing I noticed in all of the prayers, and it's kind of telling, and I'll tell you why I'm bringing this up. I noticed in all of the prayers, there is a place where they start to go through all of the blessings, promises, and praises of God in every prayer. And they declare who God is. They declare what he has done. They declare what he has promised. And it provides them incredible strength and courage. And so I started praying this way. When I stopped and prayed, I started praying through God's promises. I started praying through what he has already done in my life, what he has already given, what he has already brought me and my family through. And when I started praying this way, I found myself having courage that seemingly wasn't there before, having a sense of woe and respect and honor and pride. I found myself looking at my problems going, you're not going to outwork my God. You're not going to outdo my God. I started looking at the situations that I find myself in, and I started looking at them as something very small compared to how big my God is and what he has done before. There is something to reciting, remembering, declaring all that God has already brought you through, all that God has already done, all that God has already said, all that God has already promised. When you're going through a new situation, a new problem, a new issue. And I believe that going through it again, going through and saying it over again, helps us build back our courage, helps us build back our belief, our faith, helps us stand. Because you're not standing on hollow ground. You're not standing on swamplands. You're standing on the firm foundation of what God has already promised, what God has already done, what God has already brought you through. It's almost cement that you are now standing in up to your knees when you start reciting everything that God has already done, everything he has brought your family through. When you look back and see where you were versus where you are. One of my favorite movies is Cinderella Man. I didn't get into it till I went through a men's ministry program. And I watched this movie. It was about boxing, but in one of the scenes, the champion is facing this nobody that has worked his way up through the ranks. And he beat this guy before. And the champion is getting into the second, third, fourth rounds, and his corner's going, hey, what's wrong with you? You beat this guy easy last time. And the champion looks over in the corner and says, that's not the same man I faced before. God has brought us through situations that have grown our faith. We're not the same people we were before. Let us recite, let us declare, let us say again all the things that God has brought us through, delivered us from, all the promises that he has said, all the things that we stand on firmly in our faith. And look at our problems and tell them how big our God is. He brought us through before, he'll bring us through again. He hasn't failed before, he won't fail now. Have a good day. Talk to you again soon.